Wait, you should unlock the Wi-Fi. Or something. Unlock the VC. Vishay?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Wild Rift India Resurgence Series Week 3, and today we are in the losers bracket round 4, which means yet again if any team loses today, they are going to be out of the tournament. Today is a very exciting match between Runic, I would assume, and Void, and both of these teams, did, lose out in the quarterfinals of the winners bracket, but you know what? This is their chance to make do and qualify on to the semi-finals of the losers bracket. Joined me today is my lovely co-caster Dr. Stark, and both of us are gonna give you some action. But Stark, are you looking forward to this matchup? Because now I think we are in that business end of the tournament, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Both these teams are looking to secure their spot in the winnings, and I think I'm really excited to see how Runic has to step up because Void has been pretty strong throughout the tournament, even though they lost their the quarterfinals. But I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. Both teams are on equal footing, and hopefully there are no ping issues to begin with.
Absolutely. As we head into the draft screen right here, Stark. Remember, guys, Yumi is available, but we are not allowing it to be played because it's been less than 1 week since Yumi's release. Having said that, everything else is out there, and I like this. I like this thing that Runic does all the time. They just end up going for Soraka picks, like the healer squad or whatever. But at this point in time, both Void and this thing are essentially very good teams, and honestly, Stark, it's hard for me to say which team will come out on top, so let's just wait and watch what happens right here. As the first ban is directed against our boy Summer of Fire, who plays a very, very mean Leona.
Yeah, Tanky Boy has played so many matches. It was first his go-to pick was Amumu, and now it has gone to Leona, and he plays so well. He always has the engages on point. So good respect ban coming out from that. Remember the patch 3 is live, so there have been a lot of nerfs to the assassins in the early game, and there's been a buff to Gragas, Amumu, and what is this, Katrina. So I think these three are pretty good picks to be tried out. I think the mid laner from Void actually plays a lot of assassins. I'm excited to see whether he'll be going for Katrina.
I mean, the Katrina buffs are quite out of the blue. Nobody expected. Oh my god, Katrina has got an art buff. But you know what? Let's wait and watch. I like the Vayne Lulu bans, honestly. It's good against Runic specifically because Runic have shown that they do like to play their quintessential tanks in the bot lane. Alistar as well. You've seen Sunfire Alistar from Summoner of Fire does a lot of damage at the end of the day, right? So we are in for a surprise as well. Ziggs is left open, Fox. So again, that's going to be a pick that I feel might get picked right here or might just get banned. Galio obviously is a pick that generally people don't want to give away, but having it banned on the blue side is not something that we see often.
Yeah, this way the Ziggs is open. Whether they're going to go for the first pick Ziggs or there is the Ezreal pick still open, which I've been constantly saying throughout the tournament is pretty good in the mid stage of the game. So we have two options to make, but. What do you feel is now going to be, the biggest meta change after the patch? For this
I feel the power behind Set, right, being so broken has been nullified. He's just about decent right now. The same goes with Jace as well. I do feel that jungle itself with Mastermind nerfs, you're gonna see a small changes in the meta, but nothing big. Vayne herself, I don't think is touched a lot at this point, and now you can see already Lucifer is opting for the Ezreal, but against an Alistar, I'm not sure that's the best pickup. And Misfortune to actually round that off as well. Ziggs is still left open, mind you. I'm still surprised there's not been a high Ziggs priority, which we often have seen from the South Asian Wild Rift.
Southeast Asian Wild Rift.
No, Southeast Asian. This is South Asian. Our only meta. All filthy jinx pickers are here, right? So.
yeah, they've gone for the Wukong pick. The typical Indian pick. Standard pick for all the. They're not going from Roy. That is something we need to see how good he's going to execute it, especially against Alistar, who has good disengage. So Ezreal Lux, obviously, I have had a lot of views about these two champions. Just getting the receiving end of all skills in the game, but pick together I think will be good. Pretty aggressive lane.
Yeah, I mean, Wukong also national champ of India, but also national champ of Bangladesh, it looks like. And now, the Pantheon pick, I would say, very underrated. We have seen in last week as well, Punchline played a very good Pantheon against us and absolutely dominated the early game as well. And, this does give them a little bit of a chain CC effect as well. The Alistar into the Pantheon or the Pantheon into the Alistar as well. The Lux pickup might be in the support lane. That gives them a lot of damage in the bot lane. I mean, if they round this composition off with the Ziggs, I would recommend Void's composition looks very darn strong right now with the amount of poke from Lux, Ezreal, as well as Ziggs right here. They need to look to ban Ziggs unless, of course, I'm missing some crazy plotline that happened after the current patch right here, Stuck. But the focus is now on the Braum, which means they feel that the Lux is actually going in the mid lane. And on the other side, you can see finally Baron lane bans coming out from the side of Void.
Yeah, maybe the Archangel's nerf, it was minor, but I think that might have affected the decision. Obviously, a lot of people don't read patch, so we don't know whether they're actually picking.
I mean, you would assume that our esports people definitely read patch.
But you might be surprised. I've seen a lot of players not.
I mean, people in Indian lobby, yes, but I would assume that people here are a little bit more adept to that. But the Darius ban coming out as well makes sense considering the fact that they don't want the bruisers to be picked on either side as well. I would definitely feel that the composition on the side of Void would need another initiate. Let's see what they rounded off at this point. Fizzina fans gets his Fizz band. Does make sense considering that they are playing Lux in the mid lane, or at least they think they are playing Lux in the mid lane.
True. Camille picked up in the Baron lane. It got a little bit nerfed, but I think it's still viable there. I don't know whether they're going to fix it in the jungle. If they did, it will take a lot of getting off the ground for Camille to go, because Mastermind nerf plus her own nerf makes it's been impacted. Camille is no longer the strongest bruiser out there for the jungle. I feel after the lethality nerf plus the Mastermind nerf, bruisers in the jungle will be more popular. So Pantheon might be the best pick right now. Yep. And coming to the new meta, Katrina has been picked up.
My lord, we see it happen, boys. That definitely means that Wukong is looking to go to the Baron lane. And we were talking about how, Wukong also is a good bruiser. And I've seen this being played against us in scrims as well. We are seeing the rise of Wukong in the Baron lane slightly, I must say. But the fact that now they have an insane amount of frontline, the Lux is actually support. But the Kennen on the other side as well, my lord, the wombo combos on the red team just look lethal right now, especially with Camille. If she can lock down the Ezreal or the Katarina at this point, the barrage of electrocution plus bullets on the side of Runic might just make quick work of Void right here. And what do you think right now that both the compositions are in front of you? Definitely looking a lot more explosive coming down to these dragon fights, or these herald fights.
Yeah, definitely. I feel, to be honest, it is whoever engages first. And the only factor that I think matters is if Katrina avoids the initial burst CC of the Pantheon, Kennen, or the Camille. Alistar has been known to be pretty good at disengaging and engaging. Also, Summoner has been very good on this champion. So I think Nuno using ult in these matches will be a little hard to pull off because he's been using his CC very well. I think whoever engages first is going to be, I think, the winner of the team fight.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Katrina pick again. Ziggs was completely left open throughout the ban phase. I mean, I'm still at shock at the fact that Ziggs would have just rounded off this composition so darn well, but they instead go for the Katrina, which again is good, but how, it's so bad into that composition that you have Pantheon, you have Alistar, who can interrupt that as well. I mean, then if you look at interruptions, not so much beyond the Pantheon and the Alistar as well. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens as we head into the early game. But are you expecting any sort of level 1 invades? Because, there is a Pantheon Alistar on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. I find it a little weird that, Kennen has gone for the exhaust when he's not facing any assassins and him being the engage. But whatever happens, we see a late invade coming out from red side.
It does seem to be an invade, but it does get spotted out on the ward right here. But they come in numbers, Runic, do they? And then Lucifer Gaming looks to get to his red buff right here, which will delay Nunu's start a little bit. But he's pretty quick on his feet. He actually ends up going to his blue buff very, very fast. So I will have to wait and see what happens. It is a Kennen in the mid lane, mind you. Now this is generally considered in many cases to be a decent laning phase, but we have to wait and watch how it does against the Katrina. I just have to feel that the Katrina might just have an advantage as she gets into the foray as well. She does push out the lane in the mid lane and gets level 2 priority, and now the Pantheon will be quick to go to his red buff, so triple buff definitely incoming now, and he actually ends up going for the Krugs instead. Okay, interesting choice.
I think he wants to contest Scuttle, and I think level 3 Pantheon beats Nunu. Pretty strong, provided Camille also has lane priority here, poked out
which
the
he
Wukong
does.
quite a bit.
Yep.
It should be an easy Scuttle fight for Pantheon, and Nunu might be taking receiving end of it. Seems to have gotten the hang of what is going to happen, so I think he's shifting down towards the
Yeah, but he
Bulls,
is a little
maybe
bit
trying to
late
go
on
for
the
the other
scuttle
side.
fight as well. Runic, I think, are going to look to capitalize on the double scuttle opportunity, right? So because they have already started scuttle and Nunu's still out there doing his wolves, that means this is definitely looking to be a double scuttle. So Runic off to a good start, at least in the jungle. Lucifer Gaming and the early in were definitely working out for them. Here comes the Nunu for the gank as well. And in fact, I think they might just be able to distribute the take so far. And let's see in the bot lane though, that's important for us. Having a look at the bot lane right now, you would assume the SJ Lux would have priority, but for some reason the misfortune is keeping even.
Fight in the barrel lane.
Oh, there is a fight in the middle lane. I just missed that completely, and we are able to see first blood going on to come in the mid lane as well. You see another fight happening. The scuttle fight happens, but the scuttle ends up going out to the Wukong right here, and the Alistar fight, but a little bit not to the right split. Regardless of they should look to get the Nunu, and yes, they have 2-0. Off to a great start at Runic, but here comes the cavalry as well, and here comes Lux as well. Oh my lord, the binding just misses completely, and nobody dies at the end of the day. So it's still a 2-0 and double scuttle going to Runic. They are looking very, very strong in the early game.
Yeah, Camille got a lot of poke in the early game, got an XP lead, and was able to take down the Wukong with the Ignite. Very well played. We missed that. But on the same time, the engage completely failed from the side of Void. Was not able to get the scuttle, and the bot lane rotated so well. Summoner 5 coming over, he accidentally knocked away the Katrina, but the kill was secured. Pantheon blew his flash, but 2 kills already so early in the game. Playing to their strengths with the Pantheon early game, I think. Going well.
Yeah, also like the Camille as well, just having utter domination in the early game. Look at that, the amount of push potential she has. Frosty looking very, very good right now. And the other Lucifer from Void side, now he seems to be struggling a bit as well. And I feel Pantheon, has been utilized quite well in the early game, at least in terms of the priority that they wanted to create. They went for the invade, they got the triple buff, they got the double scuttle, and they even got some kills in the mid lane as well. And now you can see the fight happening.
Might be in trouble again.
Yep, that is it, and he cannot do anything at this point. In fact, he ends up even wasting his own ultimate, which was anyways a near certain death for him. And now with no Wukong ultimate as well, and the amount of pressure being created, Runic are looking quite strong. And Void, man, they need to do something about this game, because slowly and steadily it looks like it just might run away from them, sir.
Yeah, with the dragon coming in 15 seconds, I think both of them want to contest for this mountain, especially on champions with like Lux and Nunu, who get shields from the mountain dragon. I think it's worth for them to contest, but they're already quite behind. So I don't know how much they're going to be useful in trying to get the dragon.
I mean, at least they realize that they cannot contest dragon anymore. And in fact, Runic are the one opting for the mountain dragon. It should help out their own tanks, namely the Alistar and to some extent in the Pantheon. And on the other side, they are going for the Heretic, which I think is a good call at the end of the day. But now let's see what they are able to do with this Heretic as well. Kennen is still there, mind you, but it's not going to be enough. Oh god, the smite was not on time, but regardless, they still get it. In the meanwhile, mid lane, you can see right now Wukong, the barrel laner and the ADC are in the same lane. And they will look to go towards the top lane tower star. They should look to get first lane tower, but Runic are letting them have it, apparently. They're not pushing on the bot lane, which apparently, nobody's there. And there's a Kennen ultimate as well. And I feel this is a little bit of a wasted Kennen ult, because there is absolutely no need to have done that. Maybe to, not give the tower away, I guess. So was it worth him sacrificing his life to not give first tower?
Maybe, because this ruins the Rift Herald for 3 members, right? So I think gold doesn't go to all of them. Yes, one death on a Kennen who was 0-0, 1-0-0. I don't think it matters much, but it's not that big of shutdown as well. Now Camille has gone in on the Nunu on his own blue buff. It's still there.
Yeah, I mean, this pressure from the side of Runic just keeps going mad at this point, right? Like, yeah, they got 1 kill back, but they still lost the Nunu. And on the other side, you can see Kennen might just be taking some trades as well, but he should be fine. I think Wukong was feeling a little angsty, right? He decides not to. And let's just quickly have a look at the goal lead at this point, right? You can see right now the Alistar, Mino on the top 16, another fight happening. Frosty is very relentless in this Camille, I have to say. But 4.8k gold on that Camille compared to Wukong's 3. So that's a 1000 gold lead already coming on the side of the Camille right here. And even if you look at the bottom lane and the mid lane, there is like a small goal lead all around. Only Ezreal and Misfortune are a little bit even, I would say, but everywhere else there is a lead, on the side of Runic right here. It's a small goal lead, mind you, But in terms of pressure and kills, definitely Runic seem to have the edge going on.
Yeah, they have the dragon as well. That's going to help them a lot. And the Rift Herald was also wasted. But what do you feel about both the items? Both the mid laners have gone for the Infinity Orb. The first item on.
Absolutely feel that's great because Kennen's first item has to be Infinity Orb at all given times, and obviously Katina needs that as well for her ultimate. So this is basically staple picks in the mid lane. I used to also play Kennen with like Leandries and some other shit until I ended up playing Infinity Orb, and I realized this is absolutely the best item for Kennen in the early game. It actually gives him a little bit of oomph that he needs. But you know what? Now we are back in the stale state. I could say 200 and 300 gold lead is not a lot, all things considered, and it's not as if the blue team doesn't scale well, right? So they have a Nunu who can be unkillable. The Ezreal scales infinitely very good as well, and they also have the Wukong, and they also have the Katrina who can scale up quite good. But on the other side, you can see a topping gang happening. Camille is looking for a little bit of a gang. I think he might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew, and he ends up dying. And also Nunu does as well, and this is the comeback that actually Void were looking for. A little bit tad too over aggressive Runic right there, and very well capitalized on the side of Void, and they might potentially start look to get the first tower.
Yeah, they engaged on the Katrina who has so much dash potential, and that proved so useful for them, getting the Pantheon to 0 HP and the Ignite ticking down the Camille. So they got 2 quick kills on the mid lane and the jungle, which is pretty good though. And since they already have the lead on the towers, I think they're going to get the standing plates as well.
Yeah, Samnify tried whatever he could to not give the tower away, and he somehow surprisingly still defends it at this point. So people have died to not let that first tower go down. First it was the Kennen, and now Alistar with his ultimate, just making sure that no matter what happens, we do not give the first tower away. But what does happen is those couple of kills allow Void to come back in the game, and they are the ones with the slight goal lead right now. And if you look at the gold, right, the Katarina 5.9k gold, the highest on the side of Void as well, just looking very, very strong right now. And I think the Katrina, her win condition is getting a little bit snowballing, getting ahead, and now he's finally getting there. Now you can see the Wukong versus the Kennen matchup, not a favorable one for the Wukong, for the Kennen at all. In fact, ends up blowing his exhaust for no apparent reason. Now with 4 seconds to go on the Dragons as well, this is going to be another fight. Infernal, mind you, Stark. What can we expect from both the teams here?
I think, like I said, Katrina gets the better and avoids the initial CC coming out from the Alistar or the Pantheon. She's still able to do a lot of damage, especially now that she's going to, I think, maybe going for Banshee's Well or Death Trap, one of the two. So she's going to do a lot of damage after the initial engagement.
Yeah, the teleport also ends up getting used right here. We might see another fight happening, but look at this. Camille is on the other side. She ends up actually going after the Katrina herself. The Katrina will used to have to use her ultimate on one person itself, but the Katrina will look to eventually die. The Kennen also ends up getting used. Misfortunate Alistar, a lot of ultimates have been blown to just kill that one little Katrina. And now with the dragon still being up, Nunu can look to go for a steal, but the Camille is just creating so much levels of zone right here. Finally, the Nunu ult gets used, but to what? It has no effect whatsoever. He ends up flashing and surviving through Sliver HP as well. They're just trying to do as much damage as he can, but on the other side, I'm not seeing a lot from Lux coming out as well. And again, I feel the fact that so many ultimates were used, there was an opportunity for Voidex to actually take a fight again, but decide not to. And again, Runic just come off better in team fights. And Stark, we've seen this many times, right? Runic end up winning a lot of the team fights they end up playing, right? Regardless of whether they're winning lane or not, it's often them having big advantages in team fights, and they have continued to do it even in this current matchup in the Resurgence series.
Yeah. Runic is a very 5-man strong team. Whenever they go for team fights, they're usually very good on their targeting, and priority was very good in the last fight, right? They went on the Katrina, and they blew a lot of Void blew a lot of abilities trying to prevent her from dying, but they still got her in the end, and that was the win for them.
I mean, we have to. I love the efforts of both the teams right here to get the first Herald, and how both the teams have not allowed each other to get the first Herald. But now the Herald again could go in favor of Runic. Never mind then. Franzex from Void gets the steal here as well. Now, can he do something? Well, you have to wait and ask. On the other side, Katrina has gotten the first tower finally, but she ends up sacrificing herself for it. Meanwhile, Nunu also dies in the process. So 2 for 0. They get the Herald, but they are losing. And again, we have to wonder, right? Like, was it worth it for the Katrina to just like solo die for the turret? Maybe first goal advantage, but they get one turret back in return. And again, this is a game of trades of objectives. And even with a 6 kill goal lead, the goal lead is still around 2000, which is not a lot, all things considered.
Yeah, so there's a lot of deaths have been contributed to the first tower there in the Baron side.
Yeah,
but
bloody first tower, I have to say, right? So many people died for that first tower to be taken right there.
Yeah. So now the mid lane tower has also fallen quite a bit from both teams, and I think having Infernal and Mountain is going to help out DR
Yeah.
Runic in all their fights.
Arguably, the two strongest dragons are there on the side of Runic right here, and they also have two of the four possible dragons. So potentially great in the in the objective game. I think they definitely have done well, barring giving away the first hour. But what I do like here is the fact that Nunu just ends up using the Herald to get to the mid lane. Oh, it's a beautiful push from the other side. What that push does is it maybe just prevents the Herald from actually hitting the tower, and Summoner of 5 MVP of that fight right here. I almost did not realize that Alistair could just do that, and that is so smart of him right here, right? Nunu just thought like, you know what, how much damage can they do? Then Herald will end up hitting the tower, but nope, Alistair still there. He ends up going for a flash for the rest from against two people as well. Here comes the Kennen with a beautiful clear combination. They are able to get the deluxe as well, but never the Katrina still alive. That guy is able to get reset. Reset number 1 is here on the side as well, and they are looking to get to other people. The Katrina is looking too much, not before the Pantheon ult just melts people. Atlas is in the fight, ladies and gentlemen. That's for one at the end of the day right here, and Runic again come back huge. We almost saw the bloodthirst in those Katrina's eyes this moment. She got 1 kill, but that was not enough, and yet again Runic win out another team fight.
Yep. That, I mean, Summoner, right? I told you he's on Alistar. He's just so clean, and his engages are near perfect every time. So the Alistar and the Kennen wombo combo hit, but the Katrina was able to prevent that from getting her reset. She got the first reset. She was able to get a kill in return, but the Chad Theon, the Man Theon, comes in and gets the kill.
Absolutely.
Super well played from this Pantheon. Pantheon is pretty good now.
Yeah, and like, I have to give a lot of props to our boy Lucifer as well. People used to call him a one-trick mastery jungle main. I mean, I should call him that, but now he's showing that he can play just as well on a junglers as well. As you can see, a little bit of a bush camp being set up by the two initiators, the Alistar and the Pantheon. Who will be the one to take the bait? It does look like Katrina might be the one to catch the bait, and let's see what happens at the Alistar all combo as well. One-shotted nearly, but he does survive, and that's a nice double bubble as well. Double binding, not double bubble, but on the other side, the Kennen is there for the cleanup as well. And here comes Wukong with the ultimate as well, but that's not going to be enough. It's a beautiful bullet rush right there, and they are able to get the kill out of the jungle. Here comes Katrina, here comes Kennen as well with another 3-man ultimate as well. This wombo combo combination, my lord, this is so potent right now, and Runic are making the best of it. A beautiful Wade bush camp setup right there, and they are able to get the third attack. Shout out to my boy Wade.
Gone but never forgotten.
Yeah.
So they get the third dragon of the game. Now it's 17 kills to 4. The goal lead has ballooned to 8,000 in the past 3 minutes. And the early game champions have definitely scaled up now. You can see that Camille has already gotten 6 kills. She's already come to 2 items. Miss Fortune with 10 assists, no kills. I feel sad for this ADC, but
I mean, at this point, yeah, I feel like at this point, I feel like the people who are engaging are the ones getting it. But I love how the bot lane support synergy is right there, bro. 010, right? Both of them are just providing the backup damage, I would say, and Camille and Pantheon are the winners of that, and even Kennen, I would say. This is a very strong composition coming out on the side of Runic right here. I do feel the Katrina pickup right here just not working on the way they want to. Imagine if this was another potent champ with someone like a poke in the mid lane that could have helped out with the Ezreal and Lux poke as well, but unfortunately that was not the case right here. And now finally, Stark, this is a very big goal lead. It's a 10,000 goal lead 14 minutes. This is looking very hard for Vortex to come back. What can they do, or what needs to happen for Vortex to perhaps get back in the game?
I think that they need to pick off one champion at a time, because DR Runic seems to be very put together while engaging one after the other. So if they are able to do the Eclipse stat, if they pull out their own Uno reverse card and catch out 1 or 2 people and get Katrina reset, I think they will be able to still get some damage out.
It's safe to say the Wukong pickup has not worked out at all. 0-5 and 1. He ends up going for the random wins, which is only effective against Misfortune Infinity at this point. Not really the most ideal item you would want to build on the Wukong as well. And I would have to say that this is just back to the drawing board for Void. Right? I think they were trying a composition with 2 primary frontline tanks, but it has so far not worked out for them. The damage is definitely lacking. They are looking, and depending on the Katrina, who herself is finding herself in such a horrible spot right now, will survive through the Lux this thing as well. And now Kennen has to run away. He is going to be a bit in trouble right now, but here comes Axel. Yep. Misfortune ends up getting the kill, and Nunu also getting dying before he ends up getting a shutdown on the Kennen, but that's still not going to be enough. It's a 3-for-1 at the end of the day, and with balance so close, this could just be Runic end up taking it. On the bot side, however, you are seeing another fight between the Camille and the Wukong yet again. Frosty, what he did in the first second minutes of the game, he's doing it again and again. He's the Wukong right here. Wukong has absolutely no response to that as well. Now Katrina's moment to shine. Can she do it, guys? You have to wait and watch. Two of the CC stuns are gone. This is her time to ult actually, but and she does use her ultimate. The damage is absurd. The Zonia does buy enough time. This will destroy the Baron Rush, and she ends up flicking out. But I just think the lack of damage, a Void Staff here would have been just so darn good for him. But it does prevent the Baron from being taken. Never mind, Runika, like, you know what, we are not done. We won this Baron. The teleport is for naught. There is no mana on the Camille. The ultimate from Lux is to make sure that the Baron is not actually being taken. And I think the Katarina does the job for now. Make sure that the Baron doesn't get taken.
Yeah, definitely. But what do you feel of the completed, items on Pantheon? The Cleaver Fine, completed Serylda, completed Thornmail. It seems to be very new. I've never seen anybody in the high levels build both these items. It's not
I mean,
very gold efficient.
it's completely stupid for him to build Bramble this game because the Ezreal is not exactly doing any sort of healing at all. And I mean, again, like, nobody here is doing healing except for maybe like the Noon one to some extent, Wukong. So I would feel like that's a bit of a waste of an item. But Serral does make sense. He's able to pick, catch people off. Auto attacks will slow. But regardless, though, it doesn't matter as long as you're winning. I don't think you are allowed a pass it by definition. On the other side, you can see another fight happening right here, and this time it's going to be no yet again. This is not a good game for the jungler or the baron laner. 0-6 and 2-6 on the side of Word, and they are looking for another Wade Wushcam. By this point, however, I just feel they can go for the Elder Cloud and just win off the game from there.
Yeah, the jungler is dead for another 39 seconds. I think they're going to be melting the dragon very fast with the Sunfire and the damage from the cannon and his fortune. But I don't think there's much hope for Void right now.
I mean, there isn't, but
Now.
what can be done? Maybe a Lux Ultimate, right? Even I don't think it's going to be enough. And you can see right now, right? Three of them are bloodthirsty. And look at this Frosty with the Chad going in with the hookshot. Might be a little bit too aggressive, does not matter. Look at this cannon damage in front of you, Stark. He just completely annihilates the Lux as well. The Lux will die in the process, and I think now is a free pass. And look at this. Katrina's running away, but Frosty on that Camille, an MVP level performance. I have to give him credit, honestly. He has been the biggest difference maker in this entire game, at least in terms of how he has gapped his opponent right here. Now they should look to get the balance out.
Yeah, completed the Elder. They have so much movement speed now. They're going to be able to catch up to anyone. And with the Baron going down very fast, there's only a small chance at a steal from this Nunu. But it's highly unlikely that someone is going to let him come
he's
inside.
trying for it. He actually has come. He can look to steal as well. He does steal them. My god, this does buy them some time. And just when you thought Runic were completely going to take away from this game, this thing might just be because the 4-Dragon Elder for freak's sake. But still, the Baron does buy them enough time for maybe the Katrina to get like a 7th item in this game, because that's what she'll probably need at this point to be able to dish out enough damage right here. But you know what? 3 people, or rather just the Ezreal and the Lux, are the people who have the Baron. And I mean, I feel as if it could have been more. Actually, 3 people have it. Even the Wukong has it. Can something be done about this Baron?
I think just there's only chance I think of getting the outer bot side turret, because they have pretty good wave clear from all the champions, Pantheon, Kennen, and MF is going to clear the waves before it hits them. And if they reach over to get to the tier 2 turret, I think there's a chance for ambush and annihilation if they walk too far.
Ambush and annihilation. Whoa, fancy words there being used by Stark right now. Let's wait and see what happens. However, we have to figure out if they can even get the outer turrets. And the outer turret on the bot side is still not gone. Meanwhile, on the mid side, the Kennen is such a strong camper. Right? I mean, they can use this time to make sure the Ezreal gets damaged, the Nunu gets tankier, the Katrina gets stuff. But it's not going to be that easy right there. You can see another fight's about to happen, and again Nunu just gets melted right here. I'm not sure why they are trying to push this on. It does prevent the Hextech ultimate from landing, but it does not matter. Frosty is just so unfair at this point, and Kennen ult in the face of the Wukong will make sure he does not survive. So the Baron Schmarin says Runic right here as they look to make quick work of Void right here. That's going to be a Protobelt Flash combination. Just a little bit too fancy, but he does not die, so never mind. Oh, never mind. He does die. So Katrina gets 1 kill back. And she has finished 4 items. Let's see if she can get something here done. She could have still survived right here. In fact, she can still buy some time. Not sure what happened. He gets another kill onto the Alistar as well. The ultimate gets used at... Oh, he does end up blowing the G off the Camille as well. But 15 seconds to go. I think it's a little bit too late right here. Runic end up taking game 1.
Yep, the Baron diff was just too much. I think Wukong pick was good, trying to flex it into the Baron lane, but against a solid laner like Camille, it just didn't work out in the early game. And I think MVP goes to definitely Alistar. He had the most insane rift preventing I've seen
I mean,
I
I
think
have
in
to say
competitive
best
SK.
play of the game. If we had like a best play of the game, I would probably give it to the Alistair. But I feel like the Camille had the highest presence, and I feel like, as a whole, this competition is so hard to play against in general. Right? You have Camille for the catch, you have Pantheon as well. I mean, you'd assume that one of these things would generally have to be banned, or what you would need to counter this comp is actually a bit more poke, right? So you look at the MVP performance; it is going to be Camille with that performance as well. And generally, look at the kill participation. Everybody having nearly 20 plus kill participation, barring the Kennen right here, and damage as well. If you look at the damage charts, almost everybody there did a lot of damage. In fact, Summoner of Fire with his Alistair Sunfire Cape build actually ended up doing more damage than even the Pantheon, and that's exactly what we are in. We are used to seeing from this guy right here. So
Yep, yep.
that's it for the first BOT series. Right, there's still a chance for Void X to come back in the game, guys. So we just stay tuned for a couple more minutes because we'll be back with game two. Now, can Runic make this a quick 2-0 sweep rather, or can Void come back from this and turn this into game three? Is something we'll be watching in just a few minutes as the lobby gets made.
Yeah.
I have to inform. Thank you. And shows our faces and move to proper. Hey guys, and welcome back right here for game two of this best of three series in the lower bracket round four between Runic and Void. Runic won the first game and lead this best of three series 1-0. Let's see if they can make it a clean sweep. And Stark, they just looked a little stronger. Their draft and also their execution definitely seemed to have favored them. And Void, they had their moments in the early game, but most of the kills were on mistakes made by Runic themselves. I personally did not see a lot of initiative coming out from the drafts that they played, and the Katrina pick, unfortunately, in that composition was just not going to work out, and that's exactly what you saw. Your thoughts on game one?
Yep, Runic has been very good in, like I said, right? When they go as a team fight, they have very good targeting, and they are able to win most of the team fights that they fight 5v5. They're a little bit weak on skirmishes, which is where Runic, Void got a little bit ahead in the early game. And the tower plates they got, Baron Lane after getting 3 or 4 kills for that one tower helped them out. But the lead was quickly overcome. Every team fight dragons that help them a lot.
Yep, and now we do see a little bit of a game crash come out right here. So the draft will continue with the same bans. So yeah, like we get some time to talk about the previous game as well. I mean, what do you think? Like, what Void Eggs need to change the draft a little bit because they're going with the same bans. There is a a Leona ban and a Galio ban, which I think still makes sense. But the Lulu win on the side coming from Runic do not want the Vayne to be taken away from them because Vayne is one of that pick that can actually do really well into the tanks, and this is what Runic like to play, right? So this is where things end up getting a little tricky.
Yep, we know that Summoner is most likely not going to switch to an Enchanter support or a Mage support. So something that can melt the tanks is required from the side of Void, right? So I think they should go for.
Yeah, they should go for it, right?
If they're not getting Vayne, they should go for a melee Vayne, right? They should just go for Fiora. But
I feel like Frosty's Camille is preventing a lot. These guys are so funny. Like I just wrote Zame and just keep writing Zame all the time. I mean, I feel we have to look at the mid right here as well. The mid is going to be the main difference maker, I feel, on the side of Void right here, right? Ifran's X has to be the one to make a difference, and Lucifer has to step up huge on that Baron pick. I feel the Wukong pick just absolutely was scrappy, had no merit whatsoever. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they end up playing game 2 right here, because this is a do or die game for both of these teams. Like we said, if they're out, they are out of the tournament. A lot of prize pool is up for grabs, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm really proud of Runic as well. We did screen them very recently, and they're a team who are improving day after day, and I'm impressed by how the jungler has adapted. I like how Frosty plays Baron, and Fizz has always been a bit of a carry in the mid lane as well. And Summoner it's finally he's getting his moment to shine in the World Series as well. So let's let's figure out the draft right here. I feel we're just waiting for Summoner to connect right here because he's the one who is his game crash. So we're just gonna look to restart the pick and ban phase. Essentially the same amount of bans. And yeah, the next match also is going to be very exciting as well, guys. So make sure don't go anywhere. We have 2 best of 3s for you today, and both of them will be very exciting matches. I Nocturnal Stream is still yet to play, and I am quite interested to see how that ends up working out as well, right? So let's just hold on to that. Yeah, till then, Stark, how's life? Why don't you show off what you're wearing, Stark, so the world can see how cool you are right at this point?
No. I'm unfortunately stuck for a week with the night shift, so I am wearing my hospital scrubs for now. So.
Yeah, Stark is going to be scrub daddy at this point, guys.
Scrub noob or like Rengaro 1TP.
Scrub daddy at this point in the house. So if any of your girls out there need some assistance, and you live wherever Stark lives, which is Stark, I forgot which city are you in?
Mysore.
Yeah, if you're in Mysore looking for some assistance, your boy Stark has you covered right here. Make sure you reach out to him. He will fix you up real good.
So what are the chances that a girl is seeing the match plus someone?
She's from Mysore and she's not feeling well and she wants to go to the hospital. This is how destiny. This is how legends and relationships like it. So that's.
I don't even think our cameras are on. To be honest, it's been the lobby for quite a while.
No, the camera is on right now, but I think Stark, we are seeing your face. Stark, I think it's time you show Mr. Anirudh written on your this thing before we move back. I think the banta hai, guys. Show it, Stark. Show it. Dr. Anirudh D. That D stands for something else, which he will give it to you later at this point.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's go back to the draft phase at this point as we are seeing the bans come out again. It's the same Vayne and Lulu Stark as well as the Leona and the Galio. I'm missing coming out. This is where I think the game did crash last time. So Let's see if he's seeing any adaptation. I would assume if I'm Void, I would make certain adaptations in the game. That Kennen was a pain in the ass to deal with. The Camille honestly just felt so strong as well, right? There is a lot of things that definitely warrant a ban on the side of Void, right?
I think they should still ban the engaged tanks. They have gone for the Galio and the Leona, which he's going to play. But leaving the Alistar open again, he's going to just milk the
I
shit
mean,
out of the enemy
Summoner
team.
of 5 is like, bro, you give me the cow and I will milk you guys. So that's exactly what he's doing it again. He's very happy to pick that. Every time that Vayne is banned, he will pick Alistair gladly into any sort of composition. Now the thing is, what do Void take? Right, this is a change we want them to see. And finally, we are seeing a Ziggs come in right here as well. Now they can potentially pair this up with an enchanter so that Alistair cannot get to do the things he wants to. Honestly, against Alistair, Jana is a great pickup as well. Every time they want to engage, they can just have Jana being like, nope, just like disengage them right there. And the Lux
Uh,
is the option for him in the support lane, which honestly, let's talk about last game. Shak. Did you see a presence from the Lux last game? It just felt like it
nope.
wasn't there.
Oh, Fizz in his pant has actually got the Fizz.
Yeah, he saw the
So
Ziggs and he went for the Fizz, right? So wow. This is
it's
like,
going to be fun.
yeah, I mean, at least they're not going to play this insane wombo combo composition. They're at least going to go with some assassination potential, which just makes it fun for us as viewers to watch this game as well. Let's see what they round off their third pick here. And it's going to be the Ezreal. So that's a pick taken
Uh,
away, which I really like because Ezreal and Ziggs with the ultimates as well, very, very potent to deal with, right? So taking that away does mean that on the other side, Void will have to pick something else in the marksman role.
I think this pick is good. I think the first three picks only already are deciding factors for her, her Diaronic, unless of course the Ziggs gets ahead, which is obviously a menace to society. Uh, let's see whether the Lux is going to help. I'm really looking for better itemization, honestly, but I don't think that's going to change much because both the teams had some questionable decisions. I think there's a resurgence of before there was a time where professional teams never used to get anti-heal, and now every player on the team seems to get 1 point, 1,000 gold
I
wasted.
feel we've gone on the other spectrum where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
end up buying anti regardless of anything in life, and I feel that's the opposite end of the spectrum. Like anti should be built, but only when it makes sense to build anti because you're investing extra gold otherwise for anti situation right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Regardless, however, we are seeing the Zaya pickup ability, which I feel is a good pickup, especially into the Alistar engage and even the Fizz engage as well. Timing of that ultimate will be key and pivotal right here. Does make him a much stronger bot lane, mind you, right? Zaya and Lux in the early game is perhaps even more potent, right? And I would definitely like to see a bit of a tank in the top lane. Now they are hovering about the Garen, which honestly does well into the Camille as well. Again, Camille could be a pickup right here, but this time there's no exact level of follow up. So, what are you expecting on the Baron side coming out from?
I think a little more bruiser oriented. I mean, Lucifer goes back to his mastery, goes back his way. So I think there should be some. Darius is actually banned. Olaf is banned. That actually counters both of these picks. They do a lot of damage to Garen, and they have also banned Pantheon and Camille. So there's not much options, but they're going for the best one, which is the Renekton, right? So they have solid engage along with the Renekton and Alistar, and they'll be able to tank enough CC so that the Mastery, Ezreal, and Fizz can clean up.
I mean, this is going to be all about if the Garen can properly silence and kill the Mastery, right? We have seen in the last matches of last week's tournament, the targeting has been piss poor on the side of certain teams if they've not been able to shut down the Mastery. Now, on the other side, you still are lacking a little bit of a hard CC, right? And I feel a Wukong would be a great pickup. Nunu, not necessarily. But here you are seeing a Nunu version 2 yet again. Would be stronger in the early game, but again, rounded off, the red team's composition does seem to have a lot more damage and albeit a little stronger team fighting. But on the blue side, you have the skirmish heavy Runic with the double assassin Alistair Renekton composition right here, which purely depends on that mastery snowballing, right? So how do Runic make sure they get this 2-0 in the series?
Yeah, I think it's dependent on the jungle mostly, right? The amount of jungle presence they had in the last game, getting the invades and double scuttle will not be able to happen because Mastery is piss poor at clearing, taking fights in the early game. So I think this time there's a reversal of the damage coming out, early, while Ziggs Nunu can do a lot more damage compared to the Mastery Fizz in the scuttle fights. The Alistar is obviously there to maybe help out. Let's see. Baron lane, Garen Renekton wins out, but it's going to be an island, and mostly there's not going to be ganks from mastery in the early game. So DR Unique have a lot to do to get the early game safely so that they can scale. Hello.
Yeah, I feel like there has been a mishap in the swaps right here. So I'm not sure if the swap happened or not, but I found Z and Spinex. Wait, wasn't Spinex the mid lane? I'm not sure.
I think they might have just swapped.
Yeah, we have to essentially. There has been a little bit of a bug
No,
in
it was
terms
the
of.
same. It was the same. It was the same. Phoenix played Katrina last time. It's the same. There's not much of an issue.
Welcome to
So I don't know
Thanks.
why they want to remake the lobby though.
Did they say want to make remake?
Yeah, our swap isn't working. I think Lucifer. Oh yeah, Lucifer is a bad laner and Bad Bus is a jungler, right? So they have not
minions
been
have
able to swap
spawned.
that, which is fine. And yeah, so guys, we are looking to have a very quick swap happening between both the teams right here because of the picks. But you know what? Do not feel it's a blind pick. We are absolutely wasting no amount of time. But until then, if you are enjoying our stream, please make sure to like the video as it helps boost the algorithm, helps level up, grow, helps the Wild Rift in India scene be a little bit more noticed. So I would love it, guys. अगर आप stream देख रहे हो तो please एक like leave कर दीजिए. Our goal for today is a humble 75 likes throughout the two games that we're happening. Hopefully, we can get there today.
Yep, definitely. Okay, we'll be back in the match very soon. Looking for the lobby.
Yeah. Baba, I think should make one. Not sure who's making one.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Alright, guys, we are at 41 likes. Come on, guys. 9 more likes to 50. Let's make it happen. We have been
But
very early
with
in
the
the
picks
game.
now, yeah. No, with the Lucifer's, dominance with mastery in the late game, do you think he can avoid enough CC and poke from the, poke heavy comp of Ziggs, Zaya Lux before he
I
can,
feel like
clear up?
if the red team plays it well and they are able to target the mastery very well, I think they should definitely be able to deal it in the early, like the mid to late game. Having said that, however, we are seeing that Runic are the better team in terms of execution at least. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to be able to match that out right here. But I think we are looking to get started.
Yep.
So I feel like Lucifer has a 100% win rate in this tournament on his mastery so far. And yeah, it's going to be very hard for Voidex to actually beat that 100% win rate. So I'm going to wait and watch. Talk hard for me to say. I mean, I feel like Runic's still favored here, even if they are playing with two assassins. I feel they are the ones who have the initiation, like the proactivity advantage. They generally tend to be more proactive. You can see with the invade as well they did in game one, right? They got the invade, they were able to triple buff a Nunu, right? Which is not something you see very often, right? So there we have it, guys. We are heading back in the game, and that Mukau Alistair just looks beautiful. I love the fact every time he just presses that bell of his is just a treat to watch at this game.
Yep.
At this point.
Ting, ting, ting. If you don't pick that, you're just tinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stark, you
Only
take the play-by-play for this game. Okay, I'll do the analysis. But
Cool,
yeah.
no problem. Yeah.
because I have to do another BO3 and save my voice for that shoes.
Ah.
Alright.
Yes. Scheduling issues.
Oh, Ifranzi is the jungler and Lucifer's the Baron and
Baron,
Badbuzz is a
yeah.
support player. I used to have Battle Academy Lux Prestige Edition on PC.
Everybody knows you're Lux Simplice. I think after
I
1 year,
don't know.
everybody knows you.
I have like the rarest Lux skins. Sadly, they're all on PC. But yeah, we head into the game, and again, do you expect any invades coming out? Because Runic did it last time and they were quite successful at it. But this time their master is probably not, right?
Yeah. This time they have a lot of early game, late game champions. So I think they need to scale. Alistair maybe can do something, but I don't think that's going to be helping out for the jungler, right? So, what do you feel lane wise? Baron lane we know Renekton wins out Garen in the early game till level 5, level
I
6.
feel the opposite. I feel levels 1 and 2, Garen is very strong. Garen absolutely demolishes Renekton. And I feel like Renekton does not really win until he finishes Blade of the Ruined King or gets level 5. Because I've played that matchup against good Garen players, and they start with their first ability, the third ability, the spinning axis thingy.
Yeah.
And this is kind of crazy right now.
Helicopter OP. But
Absolutely right. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, so we can see mid lane, Ziggs is going to have the priority. But if Fizz is able to, jump in and do some poke, the Ziggs doesn't actually have to sustain in lane. He's getting the better of the poke in the early game. Mastery rotating to the crux, so I think there might be a scuttle fight because Nunu is coming for the blue as well. So level 3 fight, I know Summoner is going to be there, but will here avoid who has the priority be able to match up to that
Yeah, I feel
skirmish.
this time Void is in the right spot to take and win out that fight because they are finally doing what they were supposed to, which is like do a lot of poking, and Ezreal already has to use his honeyfoots at this point, right? So we should look to get this Scuttle fight started. And yet again, the roam advantage still seems to win Summoner of 5
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's the one
this
who
card.
rotated first. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So, Nuno's coming in with the ball. The Fizz is there to help out as well. Zaya's there, but the Scuttle is already gone. Summoner knocks away the Zaya, but the root comes in. He's rooted. Ziggs is there to land a lot of poke. Summoner is on very low HP. Mastery is trying to do his Q. He's going to allow. Okay, Fizz is coming in. One kill's already gone. Two kills gone. Lucifer gets back a kill. He's flashing in to do the damage on the Ziggs, so double kill for both the junglers here.
Oh, Mastery gets fed right here. He just needs
Okay,
one
come
more.
on. He gets the ult, but Stalker is able to get the damage back in return. So it's 4 for 2 for the Scuttle fight. The Scuttle goes over to the Mastery.
But yeah, and he also gets 2 kills, right? So in terms of strength perspective, yeah, you lost 4 kills, but you got 2 of them onto your main snowballing carry, right? So I would say that's almost worth it on the side of Runic, and this is gonna just accelerate Mastery's Blade of the Ruin King very further. On the other side, however,
Holy
Lulu,
shit.
what happened?
Zaya has not bought the initial item only. She's been playing without a launch. What the fuck?
That could have been the difference maker. That could have been her defense maker. It could just be some crazy strat, okay, that you don't know, and now she's gotten 2 items. Ha! This is like an insane amount of power burst damage that you would see from her.
What the fuck? I Ezreal was not able to push out the lane against this. Oh my god, what is this? Weird.
Alright. Like I feel like even the Nunu has gotten 2 kills for himself, so even Nunu's tankiness has accelerated. So in terms of jungle, both of them seem to be doing quite fine, and the Ziggs getting a couple of kills is actually the Zaya getting a couple of kills is really good for her because now she's able to completely create advantages, right? So I mean, I would say that Void should not feel too bad about the fact that they gave away the kills, but they need to capitalize on the Zaya getting ahead. They have to capitalize on the Zaya getting ahead.
Yep, yep. Zaya is very good with her ultimate just because she can avoid the initial engage from the Renekton or the Alistar going in, right? But Ziggs again, instead of getting mana item, with the Lost Chapter or something, he's again gone for the anti-heal for some reason. Midlane fight happens, with slowly escaping.
Oh, the 1v1 was so darn close, but Ziggs makes it happen, star.
Yep, broken pick working out pretty well for them right now. Fizz, I think, needs to fight in the river. In the lane, obviously, Ziggs have the advantage and the lanes, right? So he gets that done. And first dragon is going to be spawning. It's a cloud dragon, so I think they should just go for the rift. But let's see what happens.
First Void I'd want to fight right here because we know for a fact that they are strong on these fights. Let's see if they are able to actually win out or not because Ziggs is there, he does have his ultimate out in this fight.
Yep, a lot of poke advantage will be there. Zaya already doing a lot of poke on the Ezreal. Mastery looking to go in for steal. Both the Mastery and the Alistar is looking to get in the fight.
Gadget's
the
not
dragon
there though.
Gadget's
Gadget's still not there. He's very
is
behind.
coming in. Yeah. They're disengaging from the dragon now. Mastery goes. Okay, let's see. Garen is not yet rotated here. I mean, he finally comes here, but the stun comes in. Silence comes in. Lucifer was very low HP. Okay, Mastery is already dead, and they're able to secure the dragon successfully. The rotation comes in. Meanwhile, a very good trade coming in. They get the middle tower, which is really important for them, and they might be going for the. Okay, rotation comes in. Renekton is on low HP. Garen does not have result, but the Ziggs ult pops down, and he gets the silence and the kill on the enemy Baron laner. This looks like Void has gotten very, very ahead. Very fast, it's 8 for 2 and 1,000 gold lead already created. They might lose the mid tower and the dragon. I mean, they get the dragon, they lose the mid tower.
I mean, you'd say that getting a mid tower for Cloud makes sense, but when you get so many kills, right, and then you completely destroy out these team fights, you can see a glimpse, right, of how strong this team fighting is. And I spoke about how the Garage targeting needs to be spot on, absolutely spot on. And him was his ability right here. I just felt like Runic were in two minds in the dragon fight. Two of them wanted to get the mid lane tower, two of them wanted to get the dragon. They could have just given away the dragon and not even given away those kills. but decide not to. And I feel now Void is looking to turn this into their advantage right here as they look to get started on the Herald. And again, the numbers advantage is on the side of Void.
Yep, 4 guys here. This time someone has not rotated in for the Rift Herald. Mastery obviously cannot contest Garen, keeping them at bay, and the Rift Herald has been taken. This gives them a chance to get back the mid lane tower which they lost. And I think they might be able to use it now because they have 3 members against 1
Stalker
physical.
is like more than happy to just 1v2 in the bot lane. Right? The Summoner have just stayed in the bush and done nothing for the last minute and absolutely wasted the entire time. And Fizz is struggling right as of this point. Look at the amount of damage they're able to output. This Ziggs pick up, we spoke about it last game as well, right? Last game, if they just picked the Ziggs, they could have still won with that competition. Right now, the Ziggs in fact is playing quite well. Point 1 is just proving to be darn effective, and so is the other picks as well on the side of Void. And this is looking like a complete opposite of game 1, right? This is all Void all the way, and now they are looking to see the bot lane tower.
Yep, with the Ziggs, Satchel, they're going to easily get it. Nunu already is running them away. And the passive blocks, they get 2 quick turrets, getting them a solid 4,000 gold lead already after the first.
Yeah, I mean the good thing is Frosty should look to return it back. Never mind, he actually is not able to get the top lane tower. What I do like right now here is that we are seeing the fact that compositions do matter, and this might be the first time right here that Mastery is 100% win rate taker will go down. Meanwhile, the fight's about to happen top.
Yep, Fizz goes in with the ult. The Garen obviously tanks it down with the W, and the ignite ticks down, but he's able to escape pretty easily. If he stays, there might be a chance for him to die. The tower is at 400 HP. One Ziggs W will be able to take the tower. Silence comes in on the. Okay, he gets the ult, but for no use. 300 HP. Be able. Oh, he just gets the. Not able to escape.
And yet again, very low. Everything. Oh, it's a nice ult.
Oh my god, Xayah flashes in to take the fight but is immediately stunned down. She doesn't get the route possible. Mastery gets the kill. Ziggs ult comes in to take the okay, 2 double kills coming in for the Mastery. Mastery can clean up here. If he gets one more Q off, he gets the kill and double kill going in for the Renekton. And this looks like there's a small turn coming in from BR Runic, and they get an ace in the Baron lane.
I mean, Void did not have to take that fight at all. The fact that Xayah went so ham to kill her Renekton right here and ends up giving away her flash, her ultimate just to use it offensively. This is exactly what what Void are not supposed to do. They're not supposed to use their defensive spells offensively at this point, right? Their ultimate used to save against the Mastery, right? And completely well capitalized on the side of Runic right here. Runic would be so happy to get these kills because now they are back in the game and they get the top lane tower as well.
Yep, they get the shutdown also, no, on the Garen and the Xayah, which means they've got a lot of gold in their pocket, come back with better items. And I think, if they start the dragon, it's usually not easy for E to come in and get a steal, especially against the Nunu. So I think a lot of lead coming in for Void. Let's see what happens. Mastery is immediately blown up by the Ziggs. Renekton going in with a lot of damage. 1 kill goes over to the Garen. The status has been used by the Xayah, but Israel getting a kill in return. The Nunu ult pops. Alistar is doing a lot of damage to prevent it, but Renekton in the backline is just tearing apart this team. He's okay, and they get another kill here. Another quick ace coming in. This Frosty again being the MVP of these fights, jumping into the backline and eliminating the damage carries of Void here.
Now I have to give credit to Frosty right here. The fact that Lucifer in this Mastery is not having a great game, in spite of getting so many kills right here, but I have to also commend Spinex, right? He is single-handedly keeping his team alive. If not for him getting those couple of kills at the end, this would have just been a massive victory on the side of Runic right here, right? So Ziggs just getting so many kills is really helping him keep alive. He definitely needs a Zonia, I feel. Also needs a Rabadon, just need a lot of items, I would say, but he is making a huge impact in these fights already. And now the Mountain Dragon up again, it's round 2 on the Dragon fight.
2700 HP, DR Runic is looking to contest 1800, but the Ziggs, okay, the smite comes in from the Ziggs. The engage has already come in. Renekton is on the backline, status used by the Lux. Meanwhile, kills have already happened on the side lane. Mastery not able to do again damage here. Ziggs getting the kill. Ezreal has got into form, now he's doing a lot of damage. Xayah still has the ult, flashes in to get the kill on the Ezreal. Ezreal escapes on low HP. Fizz is the last one alive apart from the summoner, right? He's going to walk away from the fight and Fizz will have to unfortunately die.
That binding from Lux, so darn good.
Yep, finally Lux is being actually used well now and the fight turns over. I think not having ults really impacted Renekton's damage here. and this gives a lot of kill pressure for the Zaya. Zaya now is pretty fed, right? With 4 to 8, she will be able to complete the second item now, and Ziggs gets another kill here. So the gold has been shifting, constantly between both the teams. It's been win loss, but two dragons already on Void, looking pretty
As
strong.
another hell fight about to happen, sir.
Yep, 600 HP to okay. Zaya gets okay. This Nunu is smiting less than the other champions on his team. I think I might have some lag here, but okay. Zaya, I mean, Ziggs get a kill here, double kill for the Ziggs. Mastery is not able to do anything here. I think he's taking a lot of poke before he can engage into the fight. So the Rift Herald is immediately used in the battle lane, and Ziggs will be able to get the final outer turret for Void.